You're listening to the WWNO Classical Network. I'm Paul Mawson. Each week we check in with Dave Walker and find out what's going on in the museum scene. Dave is host of the Museumgoer.com. Dave, welcome to the program.
Hello again.
So what are you looking at this week?
The Historic New Orleans Collection has opened a new exhibition at 520 Royal Street dedicated to the city's residents' role in the civil rights movement of the middle 20th century. The Trail They Blazed, which will be on view for the next year, is an expansion of a traveling exhibition of the same title, which has been touring since September 2023, including stops at the Tep Center, University of Holy Cross, a couple of library locations, and more to come, still traveling. The exhibit itself is built on oral histories gathered by HNOC for its NOLA Resistance project, with digital assets, including educational resources, available at nolaresistance.hnoc.org. As in the traveling exhibit, the in-gallery experience is an opportunity to hear local civil rights movement participants telling their own stories. Landmark movement events revisited include the core Woolworths sit-in, the New Orleans Freedom March, as well as the early 1960s desegregation anguish experienced by Tessie Prevost, Gail Etienne, and Leona Tate at McDonough 19, as well as Ruby Bridges at William Frantz Elementary. The Trail They Blazed is curated by Eric Seifert and Amy Everett, with curatorial research support from Heather Green.
Hey, no, it's interesting. Exhibits generally start in a gallery and then go and do travel. This is kind of the reverse of that, right?
Yeah, this is inverted in a really interesting way. The traveling version is a series of portable panels with images, text, and audio that can be configured to fit different host spaces. The exhibition now on view at HNOC expands on that content to fill the gallery space with more than 36 oral histories, news footage, a protest song soundtrack, as well as new to the narrative objects, images, and ephemera. There's also an interactive voter registration test that reveals the extreme efforts once made to suppress minority voting. In public programming, at 12:30 and 6 today, June 11th, Erica Witt, Director and Chief Curator of the Southern University at New Orleans Museum of Art, will conduct gallery talks in the exhibit New African Masquerades, Artistic Innovations and Collaborations at NOMA. Admission is free to Louisiana residents on Wednesdays. More at noma.org. At 6 today, at the Gallier House Shop, Ann Gessler will present a discussion titled The New Orleans Housewives League, Building and Burning Bridges in New Orleans Women's Movement. Register at hggh.org. At 6 p.m. Thursday, June 12th, Friends of the Cabildo will host a free virtual presentation by Andrew C. Eisenberg titled The Age of the Borderlands, Indians, Slaves, and the Limits of Manifest Destiny, 1790 to 1850. Find the registration link at friendsofthecabildo.org. The Whitney Plantation will host its third annual Juneteenth Freedom Festival from 9:30 to 4 p.m. Saturday. Admission is free, but registration is required at whitneyplantation.org. Richard McCabe, Curator of Photography at the Ogden Museum of Southern Art, will lead a tour of the exhibition The Unending Stream, Chapter 1, at 2 p.m. Saturday. Some of the photographers in the show will also participate. More at ogdenmuseum.org. And finally, Larry Bagneris will be signing his historic New Orleans collection memoir, Call Me Larry, A Creole Man's Triumph Over Racism and Homophobia, from 2 to 4 p.m. Saturday in the shop at the collection. More at hnoc.org.
Dave Walker joins us each week. We find out what's going on in the museum scene, and you can find out more about anything we just talked about and other items at Dave's website, themuseumgoer.com, and also a video of our conversation can be found there as well. Dave, thanks so much. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Take care.